Have you ever felt like travel is becoming less about just seeing new places and more about feeling something new? It seems like a lot of us aren't just looking for that perfect vacation photo anymore. We're searching for something deeper, a real connection, maybe even a personal story. So, I guess the big question is, if it's not just about sightseeing, what are we really looking for when we pack our bags? What's that missing piece we're hoping to find, thousands of miles from home? That's really what we're going to dive into. And it really seems to boil down to these three powerful things: a search for meaning, a clearer sense of our own identity, and that deep down feeling of belonging. It's this idea that sometimes the most important discoveries you make on a trip, well, they aren't on any map. They're inside you. And this desire for a deeper connection has absolutely fueled a massive trend in the travel world. It's called genealogy tourism, and it's all about turning your vacation into a personal journey back in time. So, what does that actually mean? Well, it's travel with a very clear mission: to walk the same streets, breathe the same air, and maybe even stand in the very spot your ancestors once called home. It's this incredible mix of being a detective, immersing yourself in a culture, and uncovering your own personal origin story. And listen, this whole thing didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's been driven by this perfect storm of technology and culture. You've got these at-home DNA tests that literally put our genetic maps right in our hands. Then there are all these online archives unlocking centuries of records with just a few clicks. And of course, you can't ignore how popular TV shows are that trace celebrity roots. It's all come together to create a full-blown movement. Okay, so if you're starting to feel inspired, you might be wondering, where on earth do I begin? While our family roots can stretch all across the globe, a few key spots in Europe have really become hotspots for this kind of travel, mostly because their records are just so incredibly detailed and well-preserved. Let's just look at a couple of the most popular options. For a lot of people, Ireland is a fantastic starting point, thanks to its incredibly detailed church and parish records. Now, if you have Scottish roots, tracing your history back through clan records, well, that's a really unique kind of journey. And for just pure data-driven research, the Nordic countries are honestly tough to beat. Their public archives are super accurate and mostly digitized. All right, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But it can also feel a little overwhelming. Where do you even start? Well, it's actually more achievable than you might think. Here's a simple 5-step roadmap to help you plan your own journey into the past. So the absolute key to a great trip here is preparation. And it starts way before you even think about booking a flight. First, do your homework. Gather up any family documents, look at your DNA results. Use all of that to pinpoint specific locations. And I mean really specific, not just the country, but the actual village or parish. Here's a pro tip. Book your appointments at archives way in advance. And remember to plan for cultural stuff too, beyond just the research. And finally, and this is so important, document your journey. These are the stories you're going to want to pass down. And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The true value of a trip like this? This is not the kind of vacation where the best thing you bring home is a t-shirt. The ultimate souvenir from this journey is something you just can't buy, a much deeper understanding of who you are. It's interesting because this deep personal investment also completely changes how people travel. In the tourism industry, folks who do this are often called high-value travelers. And it makes sense, right? They're not just passing through. They stay longer, they spend more on meaningful local experiences, and they often come back again and again, sometimes even bringing the next generation with them to share in the discovery. In the end, this is so much more than just a trip. It's kind of like a form of time travel. It's about building a real connection to your own history and finally understanding that your story began long, long before you were even born. It's an experience that leaves you with more than just snapshots. It gives you a whole new lens to see yourself through. And really, it all comes down to this. It's not just about where you came from, but where you'll go now that you know.